Yeah, hi, Mohan.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah. And
Can you listen my voice, Mohan?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So any questions you have, Mohan?
Uh,
Kalai.
yesterday's code we can't pull.
Sorry, yesterday's code?
We can't pull in repository. It shows only day. No, notes only shows day 5. The code is not been pulled in repository. Can I share
Let
my?
me check. Yeah. Not good. So just let me just check that. Means you are able to pull it, but you are getting the old code. Huh? That's
Yeah,
what you are saying.
only day 4 is getting.
Okay. Yeah, let me check from my end also.
Okay.
I checked in the code. Okay. Let me check. It is showing day 6. Can you pull it again?
Just
Yeah. Because I see the updated one in Git actually.
so it says everything is updated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
I
Uh,
I see the
in
I see the notes updated, but the
yeah,
package I don't get it. Only up to day 4 I have.
Oh, okay. Package. Okay, just give
Yeah.
me a second. Give me a second. I'm just checking that also. Yeah. Can you check now?
yeah. Now it is updated.
Okay.
Venkat, for me, the full repository was cancelled. It's showing some pop-up.
So full repository means like you are not able
The
to
pull
pull,
operation
or
was cancelled. I'm not able to pull. It was showing some error message. The pull operation was cancelled like that.
can you show me again your screen?
Sure.
Hmm.
You can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm trying to pull
Okay.
it.
So okay.
So this is an error message.
See details for information. Did you write any program or what? Like, I'm not seeing your font clearly.
No, I didn't do any changes here.
Okay, you just remove it. Okay, you can just remove it. I mean, like a repository.
Delete repository.
Yeah. Delete repository. Complete delete repository. Yeah, that also.
Everything.
That also. Yeah, everything. Yes.
Okay.
Now again, go to that link I gave you, right?
Okay.
GitLab. You remember the Git
Okay.
credentials
Yes.
also, right?
Yes. So you sent in the email that link, right?
Yes.
This is the one.
All right, that is all. Can you just open it? Yes. So right hand side there is a code. Yeah, that one. Second option, Git copy. Yeah, you need to just click it. Okay.
Okay, I just did.
Yeah. Now go to Git clone and you remember your password. Okay. Clone.
Okay.
Yeah, that one. First one. First one.
It's already in the
Next.
past.
It will be coming automatically. You need to just say next. Okay.
I need to
And just
uncheck this
remember
main.
where it is going actually.
Okay.
Yes, main. You remember where it is going, right? So just remember that path.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Yeah, next. Finish. Right. Okay. So now click, right click and pull request on same repository. That's good.
Okay.
Right. Easy. Okay.
Okay.
So you can get this into
So
your
get this in the Java. How come?
Java. You need to import actually. You just go to import.
Okay.
So you remember that path, right? Existing
Yes.
project into workspace option.
Here I have to put the path.
No. Just select
Okay.
existing project. It's already selected.
Okay.
Next. Next. Here you need to select. It's already selected here. Okay.
Yes.
So finish. All right.
Okay.
Now it is synced actually. Okay. Now expand and check whether you are getting the sixth day.
I'm getting till day 5.
Day 5 is a package. Notes sixth I gave like some methods one, right? So should get that. Double click notes.
Okay.
Yeah. Scroll down. Right. So you see 6. Today we are going to look into that. Okay. So the easy process actually. If something got corrupted, you need to just delete it and take the latest of it.
Yeah. Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. You can stop posting. And also I kept all the videos in YouTube. You
I
can
saw your link. Just check
it will not remove for any time. Okay, so
Yeah,
it will be available. Yeah, so I thought of just putting there because for me also it will be there only for 120 days. So after that the link will expire. So I thought of just putting there so that you guys can refer anytime you want. Like okay. Okay, so I think Sweta need to join, it seems, right? One more person. Anyone can check, like, if you already know Sweta, like, whether she's going to join. I'll drop a message in WhatsApp.
Sure.
Meanwhile, let me just clear my screen and we will start this session. Okay, so I think it's already been 10 minutes actually. Okay. Yeah, so I created this day 6 one, and yeah, so far we are good, right? Everyone knows like how to create variables methods, okay, and how to call those methods like a static one, right? So object creation also I just showed you like how to do that, okay. So now we will see one more method concept, that is method return type action. Okay, we call it as a method return type. So actually method is like we can execute it multiple times. That's the main reason why we write the logic in a method. So if you want to execute it in multiple locations and multiple times, if you want to execute the code, in that case, write it in a method. Okay, instead of writing it openly. Okay, open statements. Okay, so if you write it in a method, you can call that method anywhere, any file you can just call that. Okay, that is the reason behind why everyone creates a method action. Okay, so the method got the features like method parameterization. We already saw that. So if you want to give some random numbers, okay, dynamic numbers and all. So in that case, you just put it in a parameterization, so that while you are running your script, you can just give your inputs. So if you don't create as a parameterization, it is a static values. The value remains as it is, like the same output you are going to get every time. Okay. And there is another feature we saw yesterday is a method overloading concept. So this is all everything we are talking about the methods only. So we have created a normal method, we have created a parameterized method, we have created a method overloading concept, and also the local variables methods we have called inside the method. Okay, and what we will see is like we will see the method return type, and so call or initialize any instance variable methods used inside the method. So we saw like local variables. Now we will see the instance variables used inside the methods actually. Okay, so used inside the methods. So how to use these instance variables? Instance are static. I will say like a static both. Okay. So this is another one we are going to see, and after that access modifier will see. Okay. So we will see what is a method of return type. So far, method will not return anything actually. Okay, so it will not return anything until unless you say that to return it. Okay. So let me just copy this package. Let's create one more package here. 4, 6. Okay. Right. So now let's create the class method return type. Okay. So public static void main. So I'm saying like public static void. So return number. Okay. I'm creating one method actually. So in this method structure, so we saw like the static. Now we are going to see the void. Void is nothing but a return type actually. Okay, so if you want to return something, so you have to give that data type here. So if you don't want to return anything, just say void. So void means it will not return anything. Okay, just make sure. So void means it means method will not return anything actually. So return means getting the value method value, getting the method value outside the method action. So if you want to get some method value outside the method means, so here, this is outside, okay? So outside the method. So this is where we get the method actually, right? So how do we get that? Okay, so if I just call this method, I will not get anything. Okay, so this will not return anything actually. Okay, so because I said it is a void, so void means I have restricted this method not to return anything. Okay, so if I want to return that method outside and use for some other purpose, something like I got so some int some I equal to 100. So I have something like some int I equal to some 200 here. So I want to use this 100 plus 200. I mean, like I just want to say plus I. So I want to calculate, okay, using this particular number inside the method. So that is not possible until unless I create any method with a void keyword. So this void means it will not return anything. That's what I said here. Okay. So void means it will not return anything. And if you want to return something, you have to remove this void and give some integer value. Okay. Something like this is an integer value. So I want to say int. So what integer value you are going to give is a primitive data type integer. Okay. Data type you have to give. Primitive data types you have to give. Okay, so I just gave int int. We already learned about int int. So now it is throwing some error here. Okay, so if I just mouse over it, it is saying that this method must return a result of type integer. So the message it is passing us is we have to return some value, and that value should be a numeric. Okay, so there is a two options you are getting. Either you can remove that void, sorry, you can remove that int and you can make it as a void. Otherwise, you have to add the return statement. So I'm just going with the first one. See, by default, it is giving I. So because I have declared I, so instead of that, you can directly pass the value also. Okay, so this means it is returning the value. Okay, so this statement means my method is returning the value 200 outside the method. Okay, so this 200 is returned to outside actually. Okay, so outside means here. So still I'm getting the error here, so don't worry about that. Okay, so yesterday I said that we have to put the variables in a system.out.println. If something like I want to get this number outside the console, if I want to print that in a console. So what I have to do, I have to say system.out.println. So I have to say I. So now I am saying that this method is returning value. So in that case, I can say that I can just use system.out.println statement for method also. Like this. See, it is not giving error message. Right? It's not giving error message because this is no more a method now. Okay, so now this is returning some value. So this has become like a variable value. Like it contains some value actually. The value is 200. Okay, now if you just run your code, see I'm getting 100 of integer value I and 200 of a method. I'm getting the value here. Okay, so previously how I wrote the method actually, the public static void void method. I'll say that it is void method. So void means it will not return anything. So I was saying like system.out.println and I will say okay some 300. Okay, and let me call it here itself like okay. So I cannot put it in system.out.println. We already know that. Okay. Yeah, now see, I'm getting 300, 200, 100. So, but 100 is a variable, 200 is a return type, 300 is a normal method. Now, if I want to calculate something like, I want to calculate this return type. Okay, I already said that, right? So, return underscore number plus I. Okay, So I can put it in system.out.println, right? Because this returns some value outside. That's it. Right. So this is a sum of two numbers. I made it as a sum of two numbers. One number I have added is from the variable. Another value I'm getting it from my method. The value is 200. Okay. Now you run your code. So now it should become as a 300 actually. Okay. So this is a 300. Let's give this as a 400 so that we will differentiate. So normal method is a 400. Variable is 100, 200 is my returned value, 300 is sum of two values, that is returned value plus variable value, and 400 is normal method. So I cannot write like this for this particular method. So just make sure, okay, I'm just cross checking it again. Okay, so plus I cannot give like this. See, it is giving error message, and the error message is plus operator is undefined for the argument types void int. So for void and int, you cannot use a plus operator. That is what it is saying. So that means you cannot add method plus variable. So that is the thing actually. Okay, you cannot do this actually. Okay, so I'm just removing it. Is this clear to everyone? What is a return type means? Mohan, Kalai, Suresh. Okay, so how I am returning the value. Okay, so instead of this, what I can do is now let me just create one more public static int return number two. Okay, so I can say return I z or x whatever. Okay, so you can define that x value here. Now just give me a second. Okay? Yeah. So I'm just creating one more method, and this particular method, I'm just declaring some variable int x equal to 500, and I'm saying x here, and there is a y as well, and I'm just giving the value for this. So you can change the return type here. Okay, so which value you want to actually return. So if you want to return x, it will return 500. If you want to return y, it will return 600 actually. Okay, so that's how you can do. And there is another way. Another one is public static. So string return str string one. Okay, and you can say return. So you can just give some value. That's it, straight away. Okay, there is no need. You can just give straight away. You can give, and this value will be returned here actually. So if you try to call it, how do you call it? You cannot call it like this. Okay, so if you say like this, it will not print anything. Just make sure. Okay, so I'm just giving that method here. So right click, execute. See, nothing I got actually. So what I have to do, I have to put it in a system.out.println. So just make sure if you are returning any value, so you have to put it in system.out.println, or else like if you are using that value for any other variable like concatenation, multiplication, division, okay, that is also fine. Okay, you can straight away use that method actually. So now if you call it, see, I got all the values. I got the string, I got the number. So 500 I'm just using. So if you want to use Y, you can just switch back. That's it. No need of the system.out.println inside the method. Okay. So if you write it something like this, it's no use actually. It's no use. It's no use inside. Okay. So this is just a statement to know everyone that you have stored some value. That's it. Okay. So the actual statement what you have to give is a return, RETURN. Return is a keyword actually. Okay. So keyword, you can just mouse over on the error message and it will return. Okay. And method will return only single value. It cannot return multiple values. Just make sure that. Okay. That is another point we have to understand. Only
so we will have
single
only one
value
return.
we can return actually.
We will
Got
have
the
only
point?
one return, right?
Yeah. So any one value only you can do. You cannot do X, Y, something like
And-
this.
Okay. And also for can we have multiple return?
Oh, no, you cannot
okay.
have. Okay.
Okay.
So that means you want to give like this, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
It is not. It is a duplicate actually. So
Okay.
it becomes as only one value. That is what I'm saying. Only one value can return. Any
Right.
one value. Okay, and you can use it outside the method. I'm showing every time in a main method here. Okay, it's not required to be called in a main method. Okay, it's not required to call it in a main method. So let me just create one more class. So is this clear like to everyone? Return type, how I did for the string numbers.
I had one
Okay.
question regarding void.
Yeah, Venkat, actually, you are right. You're printing the output, right? System.out. Why are not printing under the main method? Sorry, under the return method.
Yeah, here, right?
Yes,
Here you are talking.
you said there is no use of
Right.
printing the
Here
output
it's
under the return,
here,
but we have to include that only in the main method. That is the
here
reason
it's
behind
not
that.
required actually.
Okay.
No reason behind that. So
Okay.
if you just give system.println, so what it does actually, so if I just do here, it's a statement. It is just a statement to print on console. Okay, console means output screen. Okay, that's it. So nothing to take with that actually. If I just give this, see, I'm saying the print x value, something like this. Okay, and I'm just calling it. So it will print that value. That's it. Whatever value I give, x value. See, that's it. So this is no way of use actually, right? So we are not using it. It is just a print. If you do some sum of two numbers, something like int z equal to x plus y. Okay. Now I want to print z value. Okay. This is a sum of two numbers I'm doing, and that sum of two numbers value I want to return it outside, and I want to use it for some other purpose. Okay, something like I want to multiply with the two. So I can do that, or division by two. Okay, whatever calculations I want to do. So now the things will change actually for me. Okay, so now z value I will get it, and yeah, so multiplication of two numbers I got, and this of the x value as it is printing every time. This is just to print on console. That's it. Okay,
Okay.
that's why I said it's not required to give the system.out.println inside the return statement. What we want is this return value we want, and how we can show this value outside the output is by giving system.out.println here, not inside the method. Okay, inside the method it's not required. It is not required here. Okay, so if I say like copy and paste it inside, see, it is giving error message because your return statement should be at the last. It should be at the last actually. This should be at the last. Okay. And after this, you should not have any statements. If you have any statements, it will not allow actually. The method will not allow.
Okay.
Okay. So before that, you can write whatever you want. So for your purpose, I'm saying like print sum of two number values, that is X and Y. Yeah, you can just give that. So that that is going to be printed actually. Yeah, so you got the value here. And but we are not using anything inside here. It is just an value it is printing. That is sum of two numbers. But this value we are using it for multiplication of two number. With multiplication of a two number we are doing here. After returning this value outside. Okay. 11000. So that one I'm just doing multiplication of a 2. So that is not possible here actually, right? So you understood the concept, right? Return type, how it is going to write.
Yes.
Yeah, main protocol is you have to give this statement, and that statement should be end of your method. So after that, you cannot write anything. Okay, so something like this. Okay. So there is a shortcut actually. Okay. See, it is not allowing unreachable code, quick fix, remove. Yeah, it is asking me to remove that statement. So they are not allowing it actually after return. So return should be your last statement, and whatever you want to return, you can give it in a here. So straight away you can give some number, some string, but based on your data type here, you should remember which void you are replacing with. You are replacing the void with integer. You have to give integer only. You cannot give something like string. So if your returning type is integer, you cannot give a string here. That will not work actually. Okay. So to make sure the void which you are replacing with, if you are replacing the void with some number that is int, so then you have to give int. If it is going to be a string, float, double, long, so you have to make sure the same return type it should have. Okay. So that is actually. Yeah.
Void will perform only the action, right? It doesn't return any value. For returning, we have to do void method, return type.
Return type you have to mention.
Okay. Void doesn't return anything.
Anything. No,
it will
no
return only the performance action.
Yeah. No value. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So whatever logic you are writing inside, that will be printed. That's it. If it's going to be a void, so that's why I said like the method definition is method will not. It may or may not return any value. So why they said may or may not, because if you remove void and if you give some data type, it will return the value. Otherwise, it will not return any value. Okay. So let's see the Java method. Okay. So they will give some statement. Okay, so the definition is a method is a set of instructions that can be called to execute a specific task actually. Okay, and there are different types of method statements. Method can take in data or parameter and return a value. Both parameters and return values are optional. So these two are optional actually. So if you want to implement, you can implement it actually. Okay, so that's why I'm saying like a method means it may or may not return actually. So may not means if it is going to be void, it will not return anything. Otherwise, it will return. Okay. Right. So yeah. So we covered this return type. So I just covered all the protocols, whatever we have for this method. So you can just explore on that method return type. Okay, with the parameters and all. Okay. So even you can do the overloading concept also with the method return type. Okay. Yeah. So next concept is like okay. So the instance variables, variable values used inside the method. Okay. So let me right click. Okay, so method with the variables. So different type of variables we have, right? Two type of variables: local variable, static variable, instance variable. So I have something like, so int I equal to some 100. So we already saw the default values the other day. Okay, right. So I'll create some method here, public static void. So number method. So this is related to the numbers. So what will happen if my local variable and instance variable both are same? Okay. So these are all ambiguities we are going to face in Java. So if I simply say I, and you can just observe the font, color, type, everything. Okay. So this is blue color and this is normal font color, and you see it is showing normal font color. That means local variables are given first preference. Locals are given more preference first. Okay, so that is the reason it is printing only 200 actually. Got it? Okay. So if you don't declare any data type inside the, sorry, just make it as a static. Okay, so I'll make it as, so I need to make it as static because my method also static. Yeah, I just made it as in static. Let's remove now. Even now also it doesn't change actually. If I run it, it should show the local value. Okay, so local variables are given first preference. Okay, so if you did not create any local variables and yeah, you created the in static variables. So let me remember. Yeah. So and you want to print the value, yes, you can do that. Okay, so run this code. So this should execute and print your values. I got 100. Similarly, if you change the variable, it should print your instance, static instance variable value, that is 200. Okay, and if you want to multiply, okay, something multiply into multiplication, I start, and I'm saying MUL multiplication, MUL multiplication. Right. So execute this code now. So it should print the multiplication of a two numbers. Right. So I'm just avoiding my instance. I'm just avoiding the values, the static variable values, which I'm just doing here. Right. So these are all static actually. Right. So what if I just declare the values? I need to just if I just give this method to someone else and they want to change the numbers, they can change it here. For method, I need to go into the method and I need to change it. Okay. And every time I need to declare this variable I and integer data type and the variable names and the values every time. So in this case, I can just write the logic, okay, for different methods. Something like I have another one, public static void number 2 method. Okay, here only we can give. There is no need of another logic. Just want to show it in a different method. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so we can just put it.
Venkat, you are calling inside the local variables, right? You are summing and multiplying under the local variables, but the static int is under the below to the variable in top, like a static variables.
Static variables.
But you're calling it and inside the local
inside the
variable.
method. Yeah, inside the method I'm just calling, and for two local variables I'm able to initialize them. Okay. I'm able to initialize my instance variables, instance or static variables, whatever. If it's going to be instance means we will not use a static. Okay. So this is main advantage. So here what I'm able to do is no need of declaring the variables every time inside the method actually. So if you declare it once here as a instance or a static, you can use it everywhere. Okay, in your methods like. Okay, this is just avoiding these the local variables whatever we are creating, because if you create it every time, so we need to it will create a address for each and every local variable. At the end we need to remove that, and that will be done with some garbage collection and all. Okay, if you don't use it.
Okay, instead of under main, can we call directly under the instance variable? Is that fine? Instead of you're calling under the main method, can we call it directly under the static method? No.
Yeah. Here also we can call it. That is what you are saying, right?
Yes.
All right. Correct. Yeah. So yeah, you can call it here. Good. Okay. And now what I can do is I can simply, if I call this particular second method, it should execute my first method, and then it should go here and execute the second one. Okay, first one, second one, both it should execute. Yeah. See. So first is a multiplication of a number, and then is a sum of a number. Here you can just call only one single method actually. Okay, I'm just calling one single method, that is enough. So the multiple methods you can call it inside the static, even that you can do it. Okay. Understood, everyone? Is this confusing? So this behaves like a main method also, but you have to call this method again in main method to execute your program. Okay. So what we did is we did not call this method. We did not call this method. I called this method inside some other static method. So that is also you can do it actually. Okay, you can call it anywhere. I just called here. You can call it starting, you can call it end, you can call it number of times also. That is the main use of a method actually. And number of times you can call the methods anywhere. Right? Yeah. So this is also possible. So just make sure that the everything is a static actually. Okay. Otherwise, it will give the message like a static reference cannot be called in a non-static and all. Okay. So that complication we are going to face it actually. Yeah. So actually, we are trying to understand the instance variables, static variables here inside the methods, how to call them actually. Okay. So that every time we are creating a method, right? So no need of creating the local variables. It's not required and mandatory that you have to create a local variable. If it is a specific to method, if you want to declare anything, something like in my case, I gave int multiplication of a number. So in this case, I can just give that. Okay. So if it's not required, yeah, then it's not needed for you to create or declare the local variables. If it is required, you can use it. Okay. So this is what you can do it actually. You got it?
Yes.
Oh, understood, right? Right. So I asked one question and I said, I gave the one answer that the methods will prefer local variables first actually. Okay. So methods will prefer to access local variables first actually. Okay, so then only other variables it is going to access. So this comes when both instance or static variable names same, data types and variable data types or names, or not are, and names. Okay, both are same. I just showed you that, right? I just showed you int. So my instance also having int. Okay. my instance also having int and local also having int. So what we will do in the next session, so we'll see that. Okay, so just give me a second. Method overloading is done. Parameters, modifiers, constructors. Okay. Yeah. Right. So next is a modifiers. So we have to see the modifiers. I don't think we can complete it now, but let's start that modifiers. Okay. So we'll continue this concept in the next session. Okay. Yeah, so I told you like access modifiers means it's nothing but like giving access to your methods and variables. So far, like we just created without any access modifiers, all our instance and static variables. But for methods, we were giving public. Okay, even for class also we gave public. Okay. So why we give public? Because if you give public, we can access anywhere. Okay. So if you don't give a public, if you give private, okay, there are four actually: public, private, protected, default. I already said here. Okay. So in this one, public means accessible anywhere. So you can access class, method, and variables anywhere. Where in the scripts, okay, anywhere in the scripts. It's a public actually, okay. It's a full control is having for this particular class. If you create any class with public, it got the complete access, okay. So you can just access anywhere. But private means it is restricted actually, okay. So not accessible outside the class. Right, so it is not accessible outside the class. For what? Like for methods and the variables. Right. So we will. The other two are there. One is the default and protected. So how we are going to see these two is we should have some table actually. We should have some table. So table. To create one extension. Just give me a second. Let me check. Right. So this is a table. So with this table, we will understand about the access modifier concept. Okay. So one of them is a public, private, default. It's not a keyword actually. I'm saying again. Okay. Not a keyword. Not a keyword. It's not a keyword. Okay. So yeah. And protected. Okay, so how do we access them actually? Public, private, default, protected. So one we say that same class, right? So we give the access the methods and variables in same class, and another class file and same package. You understood, right? Same package means this is in a same package. Another class, another package. Okay. So this is a same class file. This is another class file, same package. These both are same package. Okay. And this is another class, another package. Okay. Another class means another package. So I'll create some more package, something day 2 or day 3, and I'll have a different class name there. Okay. Right. So that's what we do. And also the inheritance concept. inheritance concept means, so we'll say like the child and parent. Okay, so parent to child. Okay, inheritance. We'll fill this once we step into the inheritance concept. Oops, concept. Right. So I told you the public accessible. Yes. Okay. So this is accessible here. Here blindly I can put SS. So this is accessible anywhere. So private, no. I can put no. I can put no. Same, yes. Okay. And default and protected, for this only I have created this table. So just make sure that this table, it is going to work actually. Yes. Right. Understood, right? So how I designed this. Is there any questions on this actually? Just leave it about this one. I'll teach you like what is this inheritance concept. Okay. So this is the same class, another package, another class. Okay. So I just gave a public and a private here. So private also I said like same class it is going to work. So let's see that. Okay. So how it is going to work actually. So let's create one class. Private access modifier, public static void main. Okay. So if I create private static void test private method. So I'll say that it is a private method.
Oh, this is all based on the keywords we are giving now. So for private, we need to give private. For public, we need to give public.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So now I changed from actual public to private now. Okay. So I'll say this is private method. Okay. So if I try to access it, yes, it is accessible. Same thing with my variables. I will say that private static int I equal to some 999. Okay, so I will try to access it inside here. Okay. I will say that this is a private variable I, and I will say I. Yeah, so if I run this both method and variable, I'm able to access it inside the same class. Okay, so if I create another class, I'll say that another class. So this another class, yesterday I said one concept how to access static methods in another class. Can someone tell like how can I access this private methods? Yeah, no need of variable because we are already calling here.
Creating object.
Sorry, no.
Creating one object.
No. I said like object for object what we create like yesterday. For non-static we create an object.
To
For
import
static
things.
you came very near actually. Yeah, import.
You need to give a class name dot some
correct.
print that
You
that
got
point.
it now. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So you have to give the class name. So if you don't remember, just go back here and copy.
Private class modifier dot.
Yeah, correct. So see,
The package name right here.
are you getting that method? Private
Yes,
underscore method. You're not getting that here. Right. So
Yeah.
you are not getting the method name here in another class because your method is private.
Okay. If it is in the public, we can get that method name
Understood?
there in the another class.
Correct. So you're not getting it. So if I create a public static void public method. So this is public method. So if I go back again and if I remove dot and give dot again, I got public. Right. So private, I'm not getting it. So that's the reason I gave here that the another class, another package class, inheritance, whatever, wherever it will not work actually. Okay, this private is not going to work. So whether it is a method or a variable, whatever. Okay. So this is a concept. So what we will do is we will understand about the default and protected for these two actually. What is these two? Another class and another package class. Can someone work out this and tell me like what we can fill here? So default, yeah, anyway, same class it will work. Okay, let's see that. Okay, so this is a private access modifier, right? So instead of private, I will say that access modifier because I need to create again and again. So I should not get it right. So I'll say that access modifier class. Yeah, class. All right. Okay. So now default, I said you static void default method. I will say system dot out dot println, and this is default method, and similarly protected static void protected. Hmm. I'll say this is a protected method. Let's give this a static also. Oh, right, I gave the static. Sorry. Right, so everything is fine now. Now go to yeah, go to the same class and access it. Yeah, we should be good actually. So we should be good with all the methods. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, so within the same class, yes. Same class, yes. Okay, so yeah, I will run this code and see the output. I should get the proper output. Okay, so this is a public default protected private everything I'm getting. So I can mark the same class as yes for this one. Yes for this one. Okay, so this S is done and this S is done actually. Now we have to fill for these two. Can you guys work out on these two? Okay, another class and another package. Yeah, you create your own project and work out. Okay, don't try to modify these files again. So because while you pull the request, it will ask for the merchant. Okay, so instead of that, keep this as a reference and create your own project, and there you just work out like what I said. Okay, in that way you can create your files and create your methods again and again. Okay, so if you use the same file, what you will do is you will come back here and you try to give the dot, and there you will understand whether it is accessible or not. Okay, instead of that, create your own project and work out. Got it?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, that's it for today.
Can you open the Excel sheet and if possible, can you share me that?
Yeah, sure. I will try to share that, but I need to actually download before that. Okay, so
Okay, let me take a
I will do
screenshot of
that.
it. No problem.
Yeah, no problem. I'll send out. Okay, so I will attach actually this one. Okay.
Okay.
I will attach it to the project itself so that it will be easy for me to. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I will attach and I will check in the code. Okay. Right. Yeah. Any other questions you have before we close? No.
No.
Okay. Okay. Then yeah. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.